In this video, we're revealing the secrets, the science, and the story behind this legendary American coin, one that could be worth a small fortune. Top 1. Could one small piece of metal in your pocket be hiding a secret worth over $145,000? The answer might surprise you. The 1965 Washington quarter dollar, a coin millions of Americans have held in their hands, could be the key to unlocking a life-changing discovery. One rare version of this everyday coin has already sold for a staggering $145,100 at auction, and collectors are on high alert. Let's go back in time. The year is 1965. The United States Mint is undergoing a massive change. For decades, quarters were made of 90% silver. But due to rising silver prices and a national coin shortage, the US government made a critical decision to eliminate silver from most circulating coins. That year, the Mint officially switched the quarter's composition to a copper-nickel clad over a pure copper core. This new version was cheaper to produce and intended to mark the end of silver in regular coinage, but as with many great discoveries, human error played its part. During the transition, a few silver planchets from 1964 were accidentally left behind in the minting machines. These silver blanks were struck with the 1965 design, creating one of the most valuable minting mistakes in modern numismatic history, the rare 1965 silver quarter. At a glance, the 1965 silver quarter looks just like any other. There's George Washington's profile on the front, the date below his neck, and the proud eagle perch with outstretched wings on the reverse. But hidden in its metal is a story that only the sharpest eyes and the most determined collectors can uncover. So, how can you tell if your 1965 quarter is one of these extremely rare silver errors? First, examine the edge of the coin. Most quarters minted after 1965 have a visible copper strip along the edge. That's the copper core showing through. But a silver coin will have a clean, solid silver edge, with no copper line at all. Second, check the weight. A regular copper-nickel clad 1965 quarter weighs about 5.67 grams, but a silver quarter will weigh closer to 6.25 grams. That slight difference in weight is a huge indicator. To be precise, use a jeweler scale. It could be the tool that uncovers your fortune. Third, if you believe your coin is special, get it professionally graded. Reputable grading services like PCGS or NGC can authenticate your coin and confirm whether it was struck on a silver planchet. That's exactly what happened with the 1965 quarter that sold for $145,100. It was certified, authenticated, and presented at auction where collectors fought to own a piece of minting history. What makes this even more exciting is the fact that most people have no idea these quarters exist. They blend in with the billions of others minted in 1965. They may be sitting in an old jar, tucked into a wallet, or even sitting in a parking meter. The combination of a historic transition, a rare minting error, and high collector demand has turned a few 1965 quarters into six-figure treasures. And as more people learn about this coin, the hunt only intensifies. This isn't just a coin. It's a time capsule. A minting mistake that defied the odds. A piece of American history that might be hiding in plain sight. So the next time you get a quarter in change, don't just spend it. Flip it, weigh it, examine the edge. That one little coin could be your $145,100 jackpot. Start looking now. Because treasure doesn't always come in gold, sometimes it comes in silver, and it might already be in your pocket. Top 2. Can a single quarter from 1972 really be worth over $156,200? Yes, and it's not a myth or collector's fantasy. This ordinary-looking coin, hiding in plain sight, has made headlines after one rare version sold for an incredible $156,200. If you've got a 1972 quarter, you might just be holding a small fortune without even realizing it. The Washington quarter has been a staple of American coinage since 1932. The design of George Washington on the front and the majestic eagle on the back remained largely unchanged for decades. But not all quarters are created equal, and in 1972, something extraordinary happened at the US Mint. More than 311 million quarters were produced that year. Most were completely standard, struck on copper nickel-clad planchets, meant for daily circulation. But a handful were struck with unusual errors, misalignments, or were produced with an entirely different planchet, and that's where the story of the $156,200 quarter begins. So what makes this 1972 quarter so valuable? It's all about rare minting errors, combined with exceptional condition. One of the most sought-after 1972 quarter varieties was struck on a planchet intended for a different coin, sometimes a silver or foreign blank, resulting in a completely different weight, metal content, or edge appearance. In some cases, the mint struck a quarter design onto a silver planchet, even though silver had been removed from quarters in 1965. Other examples feature dramatic double dice, off-center strikes, or no mint marks when there should have been one. These flaws were never meant to leave the mint, but a few slipped through. And when these errors occur on a coin preserved in nearly flawless condition, collectors go wild. One such coin, a 1972 Washington quarter with a dramatic mint error, in mint state condition, authenticated by a leading grading service, went to auction. The final sale price: a mind-blowing $156,200. So how do you know if your 1972 quarter is one of these rare treasures? Step 1. Check the weight. A standard 1972 clad quarter should weigh about 5.67 grams. If your coin is heavier or lighter, especially if it's closer to 6.25 grams, you could be holding a silver or off-metal strike. Step 2. Inspect the edge. A regular 1972 quarter will show a copper-colored stripe along the edge. If your coin's edge is completely silver-colored with no copper core, that's a major red flag, in a good way. Step 3. Look for visible errors. Double-struck images, misaligned dice, missing mint marks, or odd-looking surfaces are all clues that your coin is something more than ordinary. Step 4. Condition matters. A rare error is valuable, but when that coin is also in uncirculated or near-perfect condition, the value can skyrocket. The record-setting $156,200 quarter was graded in mint state, meaning it had never been used in everyday transactions and had all its original luster. Finally, if you suspect you have something special, get your coin professionally graded. Organizations like PCGS, a professional coin grading service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company, can authenticate and encapsulate your coin, unlocking its true market potential. This isn't just a collector's dream, it's a real opportunity hiding in plain sight. A quarter worth 25 cents to most people could be worth over $156,000 to the right collector. And the best part: these coins are still out there. So check your change, search your old coin jars, and take a closer look at that 1972 quarter sitting at the bottom of your drawer. Because that little coin might just be your golden or silver ticket to a life-changing discovery. Keep your eyes open. Your next big treasure could be no bigger than a quarter and worth more than most cars on the road. Top 3. What if I told you that one simple 25-cent coin from 1992 could be worth $137,500 today? No exaggeration, one rare version of the 1992 Washington quarter has sold for that exact amount, and thousands of people are now checking their coin jars, wallets, and drawers in search of this modern-day treasure. Let's break it down, because this isn't just another coin. It's a piece of American history, a minting mystery, and a collector's dream all rolled into one. The 1992 Washington quarter might seem completely ordinary. It features the classic portrait of George Washington on the obverse, and the eagle with spread wings on the reverse. Over 500 million of these coins were minted that year, so how could one be worth six figures? It comes down to one thing: a rare and valuable mint error, combined with unbelievable condition. In 1992, the U.S. Mint produced quarters for general circulation at the Philadelphia and Denver mints. However, they were also preparing for the 1992 silver-proof set, coins specifically struck for collectors using 90% silver planchets. Here's where the story gets wild. Somehow, a small number of silver planchets, meant only for collector-proof sets, were accidentally used in regular circulation runs. These silver quarters were struck with the regular business strike dice, not proof dice, and released into circulation. This minting error created one of the rarest and most valuable modern coins in US history, the 1992 silver business strike quarter. Most people didn't notice. After all, it looks like any other quarter at first glance. But for sharp-eyed collectors and lucky finders, that tiny difference in composition can mean a $137,500 payday. So how can you tell if your 1992 quarter is one of the ultra-rare silver error coins? 1. Check the edge. The easiest first step, examine the coin's edge. A standard 1992 quarter will show a visible copper-colored core sandwiched between nickel layers. But a silver quarter will have a solid silver-colored edge, with no copper stripe. Point 2. Weigh the coin. This is where things get precise. A regular 1992 clad quarter weighs about 5.67 grams. A 90% silver quarter weighs 6.25 grams. You'll need a jeweler's or digital scale that measures to 2 decimal places. That tiny difference could make you over $137,000 richer. Point 3. Look for an S mint mark, then look again. Most silver quarters are proof coins struck at the San Francisco Mint and have an S mint mark. But the ultra-rare $137,500 version is unique. It's a silver coin without the mirror finish of a proof and doesn't necessarily have an S mint mark. Some were struck at Denver or Philadelphia by mistake using the wrong planchet. Point 4. Get it authenticated. If your 1992 quarter has a silver edge, the right weight, and lacks the usual proof shine, stop everything. Do not spend it. Send it to a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. Professional grading confirms authenticity and opens the door to serious buyers. Point 1. Such quarter was found, authenticated, and auctioned to a top-tier collector for $137,500. That's more than the cost of a luxury car, all for a coin that was originally worth just 25 cents. Coins like this are the reason treasure hunters, collectors, and everyday people are now going through their change like never before. Because history has shown that valuable mint errors do slip through the cracks, and they end up in our pockets. So check that 1992 quarter. Look at the edge. Feel the weight. Compare it to a known modern quarter. That little difference could be the sign that you've got one of the rarest and most valuable error coins in recent history. Don't underestimate the power of a coin. The next time you're handed a quarter, remember, you might not be holding 25 cents, you could be holding $137,500 in your hand. Treasure doesn't always sparkle. Sometimes, it jingles.